Okay, good morning to all of you. Good morning. It's 8:54 on a Tuesday, May the 12th. And we've just finished listening to the pre-recorded address of the cabinet members and the President Rodrigo Duterte on what was expected to have been the decision on whether we in Metro Manila would transition from ECQ to GCQ. Unfortunately, that seems to have become a frustrating non-event, because it seems, judging from what we've heard, seen, and have been told, the actual information will be spelled out later today at around 11 to 11 a.m. or lunchtime, when the government station airs its broadcast on the decision for ECQ, GCQ. But judging from what the president was saying on this broadcast, it would seem that certain areas will be allowed to transition to ECQ, and certain jobs, industries, workplaces will be allowed to operate, but the thing would be, it would be under strict health protocols. Now, okay, while we are lining things up, because we had to adjust for this broadcast of the from Malacanang, let's go to the headlines for those of you who want to know what's on the front page of the Philippine Star. Here are the headlines of the Philippine Star. Over 180 barangay officials are facing government investigation for alleged corruption in the distribution of the Social Amelioration Program funds. Interior Department Secretary Eduardo Año said they have received complaints over questionable disbursements of the SAP cash aid, prompting them to start the probe. Anyo added that President Rodrigo Duterte's announcement of a 30,000 peso reward to anyone who can identify corrupt officials may have urged people to speak out. The complaints include falsification of forms, collection of processing fees, and splitting the financial aid among families. The national government approves the safety guidelines for the construction sector in implementing their projects under the enhanced or general community quarantine. Some of the approved guidelines include having designated quarters for the workers during the project's duration, limiting the persons who enter the construction sites, and monitoring of workers' health. Aside from the construction sector, government offices have also received guidelines from the Civil Service Commission on alternative work arrangements they can adopt. These work schemes are work from home, skeleton workforce, compressed work week, or staggered working hours. On the other hand, if churches also want to resume their religious activities, Malacanang says they must present proposals to their local government units. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said that the Interagency Task Force on Emerging Infectious Diseases, or IATF, is open to allowing religious activities to resume. However, it was the LGUs who opposed the idea due to challenges in enforcing social distancing. Roque explains religious groups must have close coordination with their local governments to make sure their new normal plans will be safe for the public. A bit of bad news today. Oil companies are raising their fuel prices today as global oil prices have started to recover in the past couple of weeks. Flying V, Petrogas, Petron, Phoenix, Shell, PTT, and Sea Oil have all made separate announcements that will start today. Gasoline prices are up to 2 pesos per liter, diesel up by 1 peso and 90 centavos per liter, while kerosene is up by 1 peso and 25 centavos per liter. In other news, the lower house ordered the National Telecommunications Commission, or NTC, to explain why they should not be cited in contempt after failing to issue a provisional authority to broadcast to ABS-CBN. In a committee hearing last March 10, NTC Commissioner Gamaliel Cordoba and his colleagues stated under oath that they will grant a provisional authority to ABS-CBN while Congress worked on the franchise renewal. The NTC also made the same promise to senators. However, the NTC failed to grant the provisional authority and instead issued a cease and desist order against the network last week. The NTC officials have been given 72 hours to explain their side of the matter. Okay, now after the headlines, let's now go to some local officials, and we want to go further out into down south and find out what their situation is, and also find out what were they expecting from the presidential announcement, or are they affected or not affected. Let's first speak with our guest today, Mayor CYNTHIA GUIANI-SAYADI of Cotabato City. Mayor Sayadi, magandang umaga po. How are you?
Yes, good morning. Okay naman kami dito. In fact, nasa general community quarantine ang Cotabato City. Although nagkaroon kami ng 6 na positive dito, all of them nag-recover fully, no? So okay na sila. And wala kaming local transmission.
Okay.
Nasa GCQ na kami ngayon, and we have a no movement day every Sunday, although naka-GCQ kami, no?
Yeah.
So,
Can you explain that no movement day? Medyo may mga na-intriga na nung naka-pick up niyan sa Facebook. Yung iba medyo nagpatawa, pero may na mga nagbiro. But what do you mean by no movement day in Cotabato City?
yeah. Actually, hindi lang sa Cotabato City ito. In fact, maraming cities and lugar, no? Provinces dito sa Region 12, no? Sa Region 12 kasi very active yung mga mayors and governors. Nag-uusap talaga kami niyan halos linggo-linggo, no, sa IATF. And
Mhm.
napagkaisahan namin, sabi nga namin, yung lockdown namin, talagang we move as one. Sabi nga namin, we heal as one, we move as one, no? So,
Okay.
meron kaming tinatawag na yung ibang provinces sa amin like Sultan Kudarat hanggang papunta ng Cotabato City, meron kaming coding, no, pagdating sa mga sasakyan. This is to control also the traffic. And then
Mm.
pagdating ng linggo, no movement day kami. Ibig sabihin, walang pwedeng lumabas ng bahay, sarado lahat ng tindahan, talagang nandun lang lahat sa bahay. So this was followed talaga at maraming natuwa, no? Kasi makikita mo talaga na naintindihan ng mga tao yung danger ng COVID.
Okay, so what's the difference between ECQ, GCQ, and no movement day? Medyo parang gets ko na pero may mga magsasabi, hindi ba dapat wala naman talagang labasan? Bakit anong kaibahan ng no movement day sa GCQ?
Actually, ganun pa, halos ganun pa rin eh. Kaya lang, mas relax ang GCQ, no?
Mhm.
Sa GCQ naman kasi, pwede nang lumabas yung ibang tao. Unlike sa ECQ, only the frontliners lang, no?
Okay.
Everybody is required to stay at home. Sa GCQ, yung mga essential establishments, 100% bubuksan na natin yan, no?
Mhm.
And then meron tayong mga non-essential establishments, 50% bubuksan natin. So, yun yung difference ng ECQ and GCQ. But yung local government is also required, no, to na gumawa ng sarili nilang GCQ style provided it does not contravene yung national laws.
Okay. Now, actually, we support what you're doing. Mabuti naman na naka-GCQ na kayo. The question is, are you medically and operationally prepared? Nakahanda ba kayo na kung sakaling magkaroon ng mga incidents ng COVID cases, COVID positive cases dyan? Kasi nabanggit ko na rin yan sa column ko sa Philippine Star na hindi natin may iwasan yan, pero kailangan nakahanda na yung mga doktor, pati yung mga gamot. What is your situation in Cotabato
Ah,
City?
Actually, pinaghahandaan din namin yung tinatawag na second wave, no? Whether we
Okay.
like it or not, kailangan natin paghandaan yan. Hindi
Mm.
ibig sabihin na nag-relax na ang ating gobyerno, no? Na pwede na tayong mag-GCQ or probably may possibility pa na wala ng GCQ, wala ng ECQ sa mga areas na sinasabi. But then we should also prepare. Cotabato City, marami na kaming hinahanda dito. Yung isolation areas namin, no? Nandyan na kami sa lahat ng barangay. We really required them na meron silang isolation area. And ang city, meron ding isolation area. Yung preparation natin, nandun pa rin. Hindi ibig sabihin na unti-unti na natin pinapayagan yung mga tao na lumabas. We will lower down our guards. Hindi po ganon.
Mhm.
In fact, while we are allowing them, the government should also prepare. So
Okay.
naghahanda kami, hindi lang para sa Cotabato City. Kasi alam mo, open city kami dito sa Cotabato City. Ibig sabihin, sentro kami. So
Yeah.
yung mga nasa probinsya, pumapasok pa dito sa Cotabato City.
Para
So,
kayong para kayong trading center, bale.
yes, trading center, no? And pwedeng po, dito sa amin yung hospital, nandito yung mga banks,
Eskwela.
nandito yung mga cable, hotels. So dito talaga sa amin. So hindi mo maiwasan na may papasok talaga from the outside, no, or from the other provinces para dito mamalengke, dito mag-grocery. So, hindi natin maiwasan yung influx ng tao.
Okay, now babalik na napunta na kayo sa East. Sorry. From ECQ to GCQ.
ECQ.
Ano hong mga negosyo ang pinayagan ninyo na mag-open? Kasi President Duterte was saying that na merong mga papayagan under GCQ, may mga taong hindi papayagan lumabas. Diyan sa Cotabato City, ano po ang mga pinayagan nyo?
Yung mga kinlasify namin sila as essential and non-essential, no?
Okay.
Yung mga essential like yung mga food establishments, no?
Mhm.
Restaurants, yung mga pharmacies, groceries, puro yung mga kinakailangan talaga natin, money remittances, banks, open yan, 100%. Pero, yung ibang mga establishments, yun yung hindi namin pinayagan pa mag-open fully, 50%. Ibig sabihin, may
Katulad po ng
schedule
ano,
sila.
katulad po ng ano, Mayor, ano yung mga hindi pinayagan?
Yung mga construction, yung mga hardwares, 50% lang po ang inalaw namin dyan, no? Yung mga massage clinic, hindi pa namin inalaw po yun. Marami pa rin kaming mga hindi inalaw.
Okay, may binanggit nyo, Mayor, yung restaurants. Medyo yan yung alam nyo, pinag-aawayan yan kahit sa ibang bansa, yung pagbubukas ng restaurants. Kasi sinasabi nila, diyan na naman magkikita-kita yung mga tao, sasama-sama, walang social distancing. Paano yung gagawin nyo dyan sa restaurants dyan sa Cotabato City?
Nandun pa rin po yung tinatawag namin sa kanila, always, no? Yung advocacy namin for a new normal, nandyan. Sinasabi namin na bawal pa rin kumain ng yung marami and hindi sila dapat mag-umpok, no? So, yung mask, no? Meron kaming ordinansya na, no? Katulad din ng ibang mga cities, mandatory sa amin yung mask. Hindi ka pwedeng lumabas kung walang mask, hindi ka pwedeng lumabas kung yung mga restaurants, they're also required to undergo yung mga sanitation procedures like pagpasok sa establishment, may mga scanners kayo. They have to clean, no? Kailangan nilang maglinis ng establishment before opening, after opening the establishment. Hindi pwedeng marami. As much as possible, online ang ginagawa namin dito. Even sa groceries, ini-encourage namin yung online. Yung iba nanibago because for Cotabato City, sabi nila, marami kaming mga groceries dito, pumapayag sila na ang order online. So,
magandang idea yan, Mayor, kasi
yes.
maski na kami na gusto na namin ganyan na kung pwede itatawag o ite-text na lang yung order, parang meron kang personal shopper doon sa grocery, tapos babayaran mo na lang pag dinaanan mo. So ganun ang ginagawa niyo sa Cotabato City.
Yes, ganun, no? Yung
Okay.
aming tourism and yung aming department heads na concerned dyan, no? Kino-ordinate yung mga establishments para mag-come up kami ng means na makontrol namin yung paglabas ng tao, and then we also made use of mga IT applications, no? Nagre-register yung mga tao per barangay. Meron kaming SMS application na yung tapon ng information per barangay siya para hindi magkalito-lito at walang fake news, no? So,
Okay.
yes, ginagawa rin namin yan dito. Talagang yung mga applications na ginagawa ng mga ITs namin at yung contributions ng mga Cotabateños na magagaling dyan, ginamit namin. So,
Okay, Mayor, may nagtatanong po dito, yung bang mga stores daw ninyo, paki-explain nga kung ano yung 50% of non-essential sectors. Kasi sabi ninyo yung mga massage parlor, kasi yung construction, yung mga hardware, marami ring ngayon maraming mga residents na kailangan ng ng mga construction supply, para sa banyo, etc. At saka may operating hours ba daw dyan sa Cotabato City?
ang curfew namin, even without itong COVID, no? Noon pa, no, for several years, about 4 years na, meron kaming tinatawag na discipline hour dito. Pagdating ng alas 10, it's an ordinance. Pagdating ng alas 10 hanggang 4 in the morning, practically wala talagang tao sa labas. So that nung nagkaroon ng martial law, nagkaroon ng tinatawag na itong COVID, hindi kami gaanong nahirapan sa pag-implement ng curfew. And ang ginawa namin dito sa Cotabato sa operation ng mga non-essential establishments, dinivide namin siya. Yung MWF namin, pwedeng mag-open yung cooperatives and lending institutions, yung pawn shops, yung mga accounting firm, yung mga private schools, yung mga teachers nila pwedeng pumunta, yung mga RTW shops, department stores, schools and office supplies, construction companies, no? Yung mga kitchenware stores, yung mga glass stores, computer, printing, MWF pwede sila, no? Pagdating
Aha,
naman ng
okay.
Tuesday, Thursday, ibang grupo naman. Yung
Mhm.
barbershop, yung beauty parlor, yung cosmetic sales, no? Yung mga vulcanizing shops, cellphone, auto
Mhm.
repair, may laundry, by schedule siya.
So
So,
gumawa kayo ng listahan, kalahati MWF,
yes,
kalahati TTHS. Tapos
yes,
Sunday,
yes.
no movement day, walang
No movement
labasan,
day kami.
walang pasyalan.
Yes,
Okay, now
yes,
ano naman ang reaction ng I guess nasanay na yung mga tiga Cotabato because nakausap kong one time si General Guillermo Elizar, yung task force commander ng para sa COVID-19. And he was saying na napakagandang epekto ng curfew on the drop of crime. Now, dyan sa Cotabato, ginawa nyo na yan for 4 years na meron kayong
yes.
safety hour or yung ba yung tawag nyo. Ano ang reaction ng mga tiga Cotabato? Kasi syempre may mga businesses na panggabi. Or is it because in Cotabato hindi na uso yung mga businesses na panggabi?
Actually, nung una kong in-implement yan, that was in 2016, no? I was still the vice mayor that time. My
Okay.
brother was the mayor. Nung una ko in-implement yan, ang dami-daming reaction. And then, 3 weeks siguro, hindi pa, nahirapan talaga kami. But after 3 weeks, talagang sumunod yung tao, nakita nila bumaba yung krimen namin. And in fact, during those times, meron tayong tinatawag ngayon mga top 3 peaceful na mga lugar. Bumaba yung crime namin by 46%. In fact, yung Cotabato City, nag-land siya as one of the top 3 safest city, no?
Mhm.
Next to, ang pumasok doon is Ormoc, Cotabato City, Puerto Princesa. Ito yung mga areas na tinatawag nilang mababa yung crime rates dito sa mga lugar na to. At
Mhm.
nagpatuloy, no? In fact, ito ngang COVID time, no, for more than 2 months na mahigpit yung ating mga checkpoint, halos zero yung mga kwan natin dito. Walang nababaril, wala. So, ito rin,
Kamusta naman and wala po akong mali siya, hindi ako nagbibiro seryoso to. Kamusta naman po yung domestic violence? Kasi I would think happy
yes.
yung mga misis dahil yung mga mister nasa bahay kagad at saka yung mga binata, yung mga dalaga nasa bahay na by 10 o'clock. But tumaas ba yung domestic violence because of
Hindi naman. Sa
Mhm.
Cotabato City, hindi naman, no? Yung aming women's desk, women's and children's desk, nandyan yan siya 24/7 kasi meron kaming desk sa bawat police station at meron din po kami sa bawat barangay. Naka-base po yan. So,
Okay.
namomonitor din naman natin, hindi naman po tumaas.
Okay, now ano pa hong mga paghahanda? What other things are you preparing for? Kasi mabuti kayo, GCQ na kayo. So as far as hospitals, frontliners, do you have enough PPEs? Do you have enough medicines? Kasi pag bigla kayo nagka-spike dyan, syempre kailangan ready yung testing kits. Diyan ba sa Cotabato City, nagkaroon na kayo ng mass testing?
Wala pa kaming mass testing, no? Pinag-usapan pa namin, but we are ready. Yung aming PPEs,
Mhm.
okay naman. Yung aming food rations, no? Sito, we have already 4 waves na kami dito and
Wow.
continuous pa rin yung pamimigay namin, no?
Okay.
Yung yung mga barangays talaga namin, bumaba kami sa level ng barangay because hindi kaya kung pulis lang asahan natin o yung AFP natin. And aside from that, we created a composite quarantine team composed of yung mga non-governmental organizations, yung mga
Mhm.
grupo ng mga kalalakihan na magaling magbantay tulad ng mga guardians, yung Karancho,
Okay.
Kasangga, Hotline. Inipon natin sila And then we ask their help to assist yung ating PNP, to assist yung ating mga iba pang kapulisan at kasundaluhan.
So may representation at different level of the community kasi in many
Yes.
cases nagkakapikunan kasi ang nilalagay lang barangay tanod and syempre nabubuli yung barangay tanod or sometimes yung barangay tanod hindi rin magaling mag-communicate so nagkakaroon ng basag ulo. So in your
Yes.
case you asked several people different people from different levels of the Cotabato City community to
Yes.
participate.
Yes,
Okay.
even sa repacking of goods, no?
Aha.
Mga puro mga volunteers. Ito yung isang bagay na pinagmamalaki namin sa Cotabato City. Yung mga volunteers namin, talagang volunteers coming from the different organizations.
Well, Mayor, we're really impressed with your performance there, the cooperation of your residents, and maraming salamat po sa ginagawa nyo dyan. Malaking bagay yan, and we hope that we will continue to stay in communication and malaman pa namin new developments in Cotabato City. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that's Mayor Cynthia GUIANI-SAYADI of Cotabato City. And now, let's go further down. Let's go to Zamboanga City. We have on the line Mayor BENG CLIMACO of Zamboanga City. She was also the congresswoman of Zamboanga. Let's check. Mayor BENG, are you... there we go. I think she's online. Mayor BENG, good morning to you. Okay.
Buenos días, Sito, y con todos mga televiewers si Atun. Ivaya con Dios a todos.
Okay. Hindi ko na po kayo sasagutin. Baka magkabalok-baloktot yung akin Chabacano at aking Espanyol. In any case, I love the colors. I love the blouse. You're looking very cheerful. But what is the situation in Zamboanga City, Madam Mayor?
Well, actually, Sito, you know, I'm a family minister, and it's very, very important that we have to show a very hopeful response despite of COVID positivity. Right now, we already have 81 cases, and that is really doubled from the time that we had tested in Zamboanga City, because our center of COVID-19 epicenter is our Zamboanga City Reformatory Center, contained in one area. And
Okay.
the population of the jail is around more than 3,200. And ideally, the jail should only host around 329 PDLs. But unfortunately, it's more than 1,000. If I'm to borrow the words of Warden Alhas, the number has really increased. So as local chief executive, and also assalamu alaikum to Mayor Cynthia Gani, I really admire her for her passion in Cotabato. We also in the Mindanao, particularly in Western Mindanao in Zamboanga City, is also experiencing the lack of testing capacities from the Department of Health. That's why no less than Secretary Carlito Galvez, who was both assigned in Cotabato and Zamboanga, came over to ensure that the mandates, the marching order of President Duterte, is realized in areas that are in need of testing. If you look at Zamboanga City, Sito, we are the only center of Region 9, Zamboanga, Basilan, Sulu, and Tawi-Tawi, crossing the BARM that has a tertiary hospital under the Department of Health. So one very important message that we'd like to send the national government is that COVID-19 has made us realize the medical discrepancy and inefficiency of government services. And I'm not putting any negative connotation, but what I'm saying is that there is a lack of medical need, supply, and the accreditation of hospitals in our region. That is why, looking forward in our new normal, we need to equip epidemiologists that will be trained, perhaps in the city of Zamboanga, so that we will be able to bring them to Basilan, Sulu, Tawi-Tawi, because the Philippines is an archipelagic nation, so that they too will have the needed medical specialists to address this and capacitate them with testing facilities. The city of Zamboanga, yes.
Mayor Beng, sorry to interrupt. No, will you still wait? Because Marikina City, the mayor there, he basically said, "Enough of this. We will put up our own laboratory, and we will go on our way. We will cooperate, but we will not wait." And I know you, even as a congresswoman, you're proactive. Talagang palaban ka. And I personally have been pushing for hospitals to be built in all the regions. Like, heart centers in all the regions, lung centers. Pero it took COVID-19 for all of us to realize, and wala nang sisihan, it took COVID-19 to make all of us realize we need to do something. The question is, are you going to wait, or are you going to go follow the Marikina model?
Okay. Following the Marikina model of my dear classmate Marcy Teodoro, the city of Zamboanga has initiated 3 testing facilities with the help of national government and Senator Dick Gordon.
Oh,
We will
okay.
have a PLC 18 million testing center that will take care of Basilan, Sulu, Tawi-Tawi, and Sito, the Sabah deportees from Malaysia. We receive 400 of them regularly every quarter, and we need to take care of our Filipinos. Secondly, the city government is putting up, has our gene expert machines, and we
Mm-hmm.
will really need to put up our own testing center that will take care also of dengue and other diseases that really are the realities of today's epidemic, global
Yeah.
epidemic. Thirdly, the Department of Health has come up with partnership with the Department of Agriculture because we're doing our own AFS testing, and we have one doctor from the city government. He's a veterinarian, Sito, that
Yeah.
underwent training in Sophia University in Japan that
Uh-huh.
is specializing in the PCR machine. Nowadays, we really want to make use of the PCR machine to really solidly test what the RITM is doing. And these are the efforts that we're doing locally, but we're not thinking only of Zamboanga City. We really have to reach out to the archipelago, to the peninsula, and all the way to Barm. And that is the reality that we have in the Zamboanga Peninsula area.
Okay, now, great that you are there leading all of that. Going back to your initial problem and the epicenter of COVID-19, the rehabilitation facility that houses more than 3,000 when it's only supposed to house 300. Whose control is that? I mean, you cannot have that kind of a situation and not have control or finances for it. Is that the national government's responsibility?
Yes, Sito, all of the city jails nationwide are under the Bureau of Jail Management and Phrenology. But being under the Department of Interior and Local Government, the city government of Zamboanga provides assistance to the jail personnel. We have a subsistence allowance, and we also provide logistical support for them. That is the reality that we're not experiencing in Zamboanga City. But if you look at other jails internationally, even in the United States, even in Iran, they had
Hmm.
to let go of persons deprived of liberty because of congestion.
Yes.
And this is being the epicenter right now is just a sampling of what Zamboanga City has around 81 cases. There are persons deprived of liberty as well as staff that are infected. But if you look at Cebu, for example, Warden Julius Aro, our former warden, has 300 COVID positive patients, and he himself, the warden, is on his 16th day quarantine because he's also positive with COVID. So that's the reality. We, according to Secretary Galvez, cannot really remove them because they will need security. But nonetheless, we are isolating our patients. And what we can trans out are the BJMP personnel that will undergo treatment in another facility. So the reality, Sito, is that our city jails are congested, are cramped, and we cannot stop the justice system. The law requires, the judges require, the PDLs have to be committed in the jail. There are more than 200 awaiting transfer to the epicenter of COVID, and there are also 200 awaiting dismissal out of the facility. So this is the reality, and what we in the city of Zamboanga need to do is to isolate, to provide treatment and cure for our COVID positive patients, but also prevent the spread of COVID within a congested area.
What about the idea? Because already there's so many things that are coming to mind as you explain all of this. Number one, if I had a relative who gets infected and dies of COVID-19, I could actually sue the government for that because they failed to do they failed to fix the problem, etc., etc. But what worries me are your constituents. Baka mamaya niyan sabihin na nila, we don't want that jail in Zamboanga because it's the epicenter of COVID-19. Uh, would there be future moves to just get all of these rehabilitation centers out of city centers? Because that seems to be the idea. That was the idea even before.
Yes, sad to note, Sito, that we already have a new jail facility. The city government gave the BJMP a 60-hectare property. It was
Okay.
already tailor-made to start, but unfortunately, it has stopped. And this is where the City Reformatory Center should have transferred. So if you
Mhm.
look at the reality on the ground, as members of the family of people that are in the city jail, there have been solutions made earlier, but unfortunately, the facility is not sufficient. That's why, as local chief executive, we need to decongest those that can be decongested, and we even provided the released PDLs in a facility. We provided them a hotel for their quarantine, the same hotel that our city director stayed of the PNP for 3 months. We
Mhm.
really value human life, Sito, and
Yeah.
to the most that the city government has, with the funds that we have in government, we accommodate people without discrimination, but we want to prevent the risk that will go down to the households. Because we have learned from COVID-19 that the COVID battle plan of Zamboanga City, with the grace of God, are simply two things: heal the sick and feed the hungry, because we're under quarantine. In doing so, the battleground is in the family, Sito.
Yeah.
If the father and the mother teaches the children to practice um, hygiene, social distancing, and sanitation, and really teach the children that there should really be discipline nowadays, then we are able to fight the battle solidly, starting in the front lines, which begins in the homes.
Okay, well, that is, making it very simple makes it very doable. Mayor, any message for the national government or for Zamboangueños who might be stranded in Metro Manila or Cebu? Please go ahead.
Well, first of all, to the national government, allow us to express our continued compliance with all the mandates of the IATF. Currently, I am appealing for the proposal of extending our ECQ because the number of COVID cases have doubled since the time that Secretary Galvez came in. But nonetheless, we are preparing for whatever national government would direct the local government unit. To all our stranded kababayans outside of Zamboanga City, querido kong poblanos, Cristiano, Muslim, Ilumad, ese es Alcalde BENG CLIMACO, tamanda con ustedes sabe que el gobierno local te prepara el mejores para puede vosotros volver aquí. Bien importante que coordina vosotros na City Tourism Officer, con Sarita Sebastian Hernandez. We have the hotline numbers available in our Facebook pages, and we also have prepared our template. Mayor Sara Duterte has given a go for the return of Zamboangueños under Davao funds, and we have coordinated with them, and they're in the city. But we need to continue our repatriation of stranded Zamboangueños. Aside from that, Sito, kaya lang kita manda con ustedes sabi that quarantine will really be a must. So when you come home to Zamboanga City, you will be under a 14-day quarantine because we cannot really ensure the welfare and safety of your families if you're immediately mixed with the family and undergo home quarantine. Next, we need to capacitate our barangay health emergency response teams so that they will have an isolation facility in order to isolate those that have been exposed to COVID. And we need to really move forward by ensuring that the local government units really coordinate with the barangays so that our stranded residents will be able to return home subject to the mandates of the IATF, the availability of transportation as well.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mayor, and please stay safe, stay strong, stay healthy, and God bless you.
Muchas gracias, Ito. Ibaya con Dios. And again, what's really very important are the lessons that I've learned. Faith, hope, and love. We really need to have prayers. Faith in God alone can sustain us. Then we need to have love. What is most importantly, Sito, is we realize that the material possessions are superficial. Fame, power, recognition are all passing. But what is really lasting is the love of family, whether they are with us or whether they are far away. And most important, Sito, I think, is the hope. Hope because we have the security of friends who we know we can count on in this time of COVID. And with all of this, Sito, we send you our prayers of faith, hope, and love from the city of Zamboanga in unity with Mayor Marcy Teodoro, Mayor Cynthia Giani, and of course, the famous Cito Beltran. I'm very honored to be with you. Thank you very much, Cito, for being a no-nonsense journalist, working, showing to us that you will not stop continuing your passion, your mission to spread positive, not COVID, but positive factual news and information. Muchísimas gracias, Cito.
Thank you very much, Mayor.
And thank you to your technical staff. Together with Garnet, we are here in the city of Zamboanga, sending you messages of faith, hope, and love.
Thank you. And that's Mayor BENG CLIMACO. And in spite of the COVID cases, she is still radiating faith, hope, and love. And that's what we need a lot of nowadays. Okay. Now, I don't know if our next set of interview is going to solicit faith, hope, and love because they are, I believe, pushing for the extension of, am I correct? Extension of the ECQ. Let's bring in two members of Congress, Representatives Benny Abante of the 6th District of Manila and Representative STELLA QUIMBO of the 2nd District of Marikina. Magandang umaga po sa inyo. Nandiyan na po ba kayo? This is going to be tricky trying to bring in two people at the same time, but hopefully it will... okay. I am so sorry. I'm supposed to take a break, okay, for commercial. We will take a break and we will set it all up here on Agenda. Okay, we're back on air. You are watching Agenda on channels 8 and 250 via Signal TV and also Facebook Live via the One News PH platform. And we're also available on YouTube. Now, let's go on with the interviews. Actually, I'm already getting mixed up because of the ECQ, GCQ, and someone actually just threw in BBQ, barbecue po yun. But our next guest is actually two representatives. We have Congressman Benny Abante and Congresswoman Stella Kimbo, and they are actually pushing for GCQ yata. Or at least that's what I gathered. Good morning, Representative Stella Kimbo and Manong Benny Abante. Good morning po sa inyong dalawa.
Good
Good
morning
morning
po,
po.
Sito. Good morning,
Okay.
Stella.
Okay, I'll start with Congresswoman Stella and then with you, Congressman Abante. Am I correct? Ano ba tayo? ECQ, GCQ, or barbecue?
Ako po, Sito, sa I'm a health economist. I've always advocated for the effective and the safe reopening of the economy. You know, it's very costly. Every day of lockdown costs the economy about 18 billion pesos in terms of GDP. So
Okay.
kasama na sa 18 billion, the unearned corporate income, unearned wages, including the payroll costs that are shouldered by our disrupted businesses. So it's really very economically damaging. So I've always personally advocated for the reopening of the economy, but it has to be safe, it has to be effective. You don't reopen an economy by simply announcing wala nang lockdown. No,
Okay.
ang pinaka-importante talaga Sito is bringing back the confidence of the people. Because right now, many people are afraid. There's a great fear factor. So some companies have said that even when they announce to their workers that they can already report to work, many workers did not show up, right?
Mhm.
Because so there's this great there's not a lot of confidence among workers and among the consumers.
Because there's a double jeopardy or it's like a double blade. Pag namigay tayo ng SAP, tapos nakabakasyon ng matagal, nawiwili. Now, let me ask Congressman Benny Abante. Congressman Abante, what is your position? Kasi medyo bitin yung buong sambayanan. Hindi actual na declare ng Malacanang. Go ahead, sir.
Actually, we are proposing, Sito, itong resolution na final namin with the minority bloc. It's just telling the government na we ought to be cautious, we ought to be careful in declaring say ECQ or GCQ or moderate quarantine. Because as much as we would like to see a lot of people live at mabawasan na yung mga COVID-19, hindi na mawawala yung livelihood ng mga kababayan natin. In fact, dito po sa Maynila, I do not know the declaration of the president today, no? Pero actually, we made proposals na sana sa Maynila, I give nilang GCQ, then modified quarantine, giving the mayor the power to lock down any barangay or lock down any district for that matter, para yung ibang mga negosyo ay masimulan na, following all the protocols.
Okay, having said that, okay, it's open season to both of you. Whoever wants to come in. So mukhang may gustong reaction si Ma'am Stella. Congresswoman Kimbo. Yeah, go ahead.
So, Sito, just to clarify, kami po ni ML Abante, no? We're from the same minority block, so we have the same position.
Okay.
But so we want a gradual reopening of the economy, meaning to say, ang pinaka-importante talaga is really safety. All right, so we really have to balance the economic aspect as well as the safety aspect. So, sa amin, so importante, no? So may mga preconditions which we think have to be there for you to really open up an economy. Ang importante dyan would be the minimum health standards. So if you reopen the economy, dapat klaro yan sa workers, so klaro yan sa employers, no? Ano ba yung social distancing protocol? How many square meters dapat ang meron for every worker, right? Ang pinaka-importante sa lahat, Sito, pwede na ba tayo mag-mass testing? So right now, that is the biggest thing that people are waiting for that will bring back confidence, especially in the workplaces. Right now, Sito, the policy of DOH is not to allow testing unless you're symptomatic. In other words, you need to have symptoms first before you go testing. But the problem,
Tinitipid kasi nila yung supply.
tama po yun. But then remember, Sito, you're opening the economy. People are going back to work. We don't know who are asymptomatic. So ang pinaka-importante dyan, kumbaga sa brownout, Sito, we need to open the flashlight, right? If you don't know who the symptomatics are, we need to open the flashlight, which is mass testing. So yan ang wala pa. So they have to have a shift of policy pagdating sa mass testing. Number 3, important na merong contact tracing. So right now, you reported earlier that we have 11,086 COVID positive cases. But Sito, do you know that 1,032 of those have unknown places of residence? So we don't even know where they are, right? So when we lift, right, ACQ today, paano kung lahat pala ng unknowns na yan ay nasa isang lugar pala na lifted? Diba? So these are the preconditions which we are pointing out in our resolution. Don't get us wrong, Sito. We want to reopen the economy because, as I said, it's very costly. Kailangan na talagang maghanap buhay, balik hanap buhay. But we have to do it safely. Diba?
Yeah, well, I'm in complete agreement and support. And the thing is kasi like if you watch the news last night, marami nang nagre-react, nakakatanggap na sila ng mga bills nila. Bills from Meralco, bills from credit, etc. And they're all freaking out because, you know, we have the bills, but we don't have the means. So the pressure is there. Now, Congressman Benny, ano ang reaction ng mga colleagues mo o yung mga or Malacanang? Because I don't know what to say, you know. Nabitin talaga kami with the broadcast this morning. We thought there was going to be an announcement, and we were under the impression it will be a halo-halo sort of release, some GCQ, some ECQ.
Actually, they're doing it very slowly. I do not know kung yan ay they're doing it carefully. Pero alam mo, yung DOH, para bang nanguhula sila as far as testing is concerned. Eh nais namin na mag-test tayo. Sabi nga ni Congresswoman Garin, test ngayon, like build. So that we'll be able to know kung talagang whether you be symptomatic, whether you be asymptomatic, at least alam natin in real time, no? In real time, alam natin kung ano nangyayari. The thing is this, no? Alam ko na kapag nagkaroon ng mass testing, siguro dadami ang positive cases, pero at least we know in every area kung ano nangyayari, and therefore, the government could be able to make decisions properly and carefully on what to do, whether it be ECQ, GCQ, modified quarantine. But at this point in time, wala pa eh. Nais din po nating balance. Kaya nga ang tanong ko, where do we strike the balance? No? Of course, we are after the life of people. But we are also after livelihood. Nais natin magkatrabaho na yung mga walang trabaho. Nais nating magsweldo na. Yung mga tao, ayaw natin na dadami pa yung tinatawag nating social immersion program. You know, at aasa ng aasa. Kahapon nga may nakita akong rally ng mga driver, ng mga tao, mga apat na daang pamilya yata. Sabi nila, hindi kami sanay umasa. So yun, sana that would be something that the government should realize.
The human dignity, self-respect, plus of course yung now here's the problem, Congresswoman Stella and Congressman Benny. ginawa na ito in other countries. There were social relaxations, etc. Pero the bad experience is people got reckless. Now, how do you suggest, Congressman Kimbo, we go about this GCQ? Kasi parang ang feeling ko, pwede natin gawin yung GCQ, pero kailangan palabasin mo lahat ng police. We have to release every cop, every AFP with a gun para lang magbantay at may pamalo. Kasi hindi sinusunod. At the start, susunod, but bandang huli, hindi susunod.
So, tama yun, Sito, no? The biggest fear right now is maging Singapore tayo na magkaroon ng resurgence o magkaroon ng second wave. Diba? So, yun ang pinakamalaking takot natin. And I think that, Sito, the devil is in the details. We really need detailed guidelines. I mean, that's number one. So, tungkol saan? So, again, uulitin ko, very important to have minimum health standards. Employers need to know this because hindi naman, kung nilabas natin ang health standards today, hindi ibig sabihin nun, today, compliant na ang mga workplaces. Why? Because that would require a certain amount of space for every worker that may require a certain number of tests, right? Hindi pa natin alam yan because we haven't seen the guidelines. Pagdating sa transport, baka naman ang workplace natin COVID-ready, maayos. Pero paano ang public transportation ng workers? Diba? So kasama lahat yan dapat sa health standards. And ang mga sectors natin sito, iba-iba. There are some sectors that naturally can practice social distancing, like farming. But there are some sectors na hirap because you're talking about factories that are not so big. So, yun ang pinaka-importante talaga sa lahat. DOH has to issue those minimum health standards. And up to today, Tito, I've not seen those.
Yeah, wait a minute. Are you going to call them to Congress or to a Zoom thingamajiggy? Kasi ito yung complaint, Congressman Kimbo.
We actually have, Sito. We invited them.
Yeah, maraming ideas, pero wala talagang yung bang inupuan na detalyeng plano. Parang, bahala na kayo. Basta kailangan may housing, kailangan may health facility, etc. But it's not per square meter detail.
Yes,
Alam
so
mo,
that's...
Sito,
Yes, sir.
Recess ng Kongreso, the Speaker actually called for a technical working group with us, no? In fact, Stella Quimbo and Joey Salceda has consolidated their bill, no, on the economic stimulus plan. Pero mukhang may reservation yata yung economic managers, no? Dito sa economic stimulus plan na ginawa ni Joey Salceda, ni Stella Quimbo, and Sharon Garin, which is actually very good, preparing our country to post coronavirus thing, no? Ngayon, we raise that issue every time. Nakaroon kami, we called up the resource speakers, Secretary Dominguez, Secretary ng budget management, Secretary ng Secretary Anyo, all of those just to let us know what they've been doing because they are the ones deciding. IATF yan eh. They're the ones deciding. Sana naman, makinig din naman sila sa amin.
Yeah.
Just
go ahead.
Just to add,
Stella.
in our consolidated bill, yung pong binabanggit ni ML Abante, we have a provision there for mass testing. So we're proposing 20 billion pesos as assistance for firms so they can precisely undertake testing for their workers. And included din dito yung role ng DOH, which is to come up with the minimum health standards, a disease surveillance protocol, etc. So in line with this, we called DOH last week to a Zoom meeting to give their comments on that provision. Unfortunately, in that Zoom meeting, they told us na wala pa pong health standards. So that was last week. So sana naman, and they promised to come back to us to give us more details. So sana naman, by now, kung lalabas na nga itong bagong resolution, lifting ECQ o GCQ in certain places, sana nandyan na po yung pinapromise nila na health standards.
Okay. What we'll do is we will invite you back to the program because medyo na-surprise ako na meron na pala kayong proposal. Medyo kakapusin lang kami ng oras dahil nakain yung oras namin nung press conference kanina. But we would like to invite you because that's crucial. We have been asking for a plan. We have been asking a lot of our viewers na mga business people are asking the question, who's going to help us now? Because we cannot help ourselves anymore. So we will invite you back, and we hope you could make time for the show. And please stay safe, stay cool. Kahit nakakapiko na yung situation, we will just all pray together. Thank you very much, Congresswoman Quimbo and Congressman Abante. Maraming salamat po.
Salamat din po.
Thank you, Sito. Thank you. Kompleto kami ng proposal.
Okay, we will dedicate a large part of the show for you. Thank you very much.
Sige po.
Okay.
God bless. God bless.
God bless.
God
Okay.
bless.
Yan po si Congresswoman Stella Quimbo and Congressman Benny Abante. And we will go for a quick gap and then the final minutes of our program today here on Agenda. Okay, you're back here on Agenda Signal TV Channel 8 and 250. And next up, we have with us the governor of Capiz. I think they call the seafood export capital, Governor Ivan Nonoy Contreras. Governor, magandang umaga po sa inyo.
Hi, magandang umaga po, Sir Sito. Of course, program mo, agenda, sa lahat po ng followers. Good morning po.
Okay, kamusta naman po sa Capiz? Medyo nami-miss ko na dahil nung nag-Christmas New Year break dumaan kami dyan at inupakan ko lang naman yung mga seafood dyan sa lugar mo. I'm worried. What is the impact of COVID-19 on the province of Capiz? Di ba just after the Christmas holidays, tinamaan din kayo ng bagyo if I remember correctly. And I don't think you have fully recovered. Biglang tumama naman itong COVID-19. What is the situation, Governor?
Tama po yun, Sir Sito. No? We're claiming to be the seafood capital of the Philippines. Tama po yan. Kung meron po dyan na gusto talagang makatikim ng fresh at masarap na seafoods, Capiz po is the place to go. And hopefully makabalik ka po dito. Actually, nakita na po kita, Sir Sito, one time in the event ni Kong Mikey Romero.
Okay.
He's a good friend of mine. And dito po, tama po yun, nung Christmas, nabagyuhan po kami dito ng Ursula. Hindi pa fully recovered. Ito na naman, may COVID na naman. Although, sa ngayon po, syempre, siguro lahat po ng sektor, lahat po ng probinsya napektuhan, hindi lang sa Pilipinas, buong mundo. Dito po sa amin, at least yung mga products namin, syempre hindi namin may benta sa labas. So, dito na lang. And within the Panay Island, halos bibenta siya. Luckily ngayon, nag-GCQ na kami. So at least may movement na medyo free na yung movement. Even before, na-allow naman natin yan. Pero halos hindi, yung demand, hindi na masyado. So bumaba din yung presyo ng seafoods namin dito, ng mga agricultural products namin. And although I think ang mas napiktuhan talaga yung ibang sektor, yung transport sectors, kasi yung farmers namin, agri and fishery namin, halos at least somehow nakakain pa naman sila So that's one advantage lang po siguro sa farmers and fisher folks natin, nakakakain. Yun lang, yung supposed to be na income na pwede lang makuha, medyo na-limit na siya.
Okay, now let's shift quickly to the medical situation, to the COVID situation. Ano ang tama ng COVID-19 sa probinsya ng Capiz?
Well, maswerte lang siguro dito, sir. Yung first na positive case na dumating sa amin dito is yung March 24 po yun. And yung last noong April 16. So we only got 5 cases, and since April 16 until now wala na po, wala nang naging nag-COVID positive, and yung out of the 5, 3 po yung naka-recover, 2 yung namatay. So ngayon po we're trying to contain, although naka-GCQ kami, ang ano na lang namin, I'm thankful sa lahat po ng frontliners, local government units, sa mga barangay officials, at least sa pagtutulungan namin, at least wala nang may nakapasok ulit. And we're trying to contain na lang, maintain ng mga borders natin, strict lang din. Although marami ring mga ingenious na mga kasamahan namin na nakakapasok pa rin. Minsan sa loob ng funeraria, sa funeral service niyan, doon sila sumasakay, minsan sa may truck ng tracking ng sugarcane. Doon pala may halo para sa gitna, doon pumapasok. Pero nahuhuli naman pagdating sa barangay, yun po. So,
ano po ang policy ninyo? What is your policy regarding people who want to go home to Capiz? Because marami talagang cases ng ganyan Davao, Zamboanga, even Batangas. Maraming cases na na-stranded sila outside of their hometown or their home province. Yung mga na gustong bumalik or planong bumalik sa Capiz, what is the rule?
Well, actually po, noon, hindi pa namin ina-allow, no? There are certain exemptions sa GCQ, no? Based na rin sa mandate coming from the IATF. Pero ngayon po, just this morning, I signed an executive order number 18, no? Detailing yung mga para sa mga repatriates namin, mga OFWs, tapos non-OFWs, and the locally stranded individuals. Ngayon ko lang na-sign, actually. So, we're allowing slowly ang pagpasok dito sa amin ng mga residents namin. Or kung galing ka sa mga GCQ areas, of course, you need na may certificate na ina-allow ka ng local chief executive. Of course, you have to show na may certificate ka rin na nakapag-undergo ka ng 14-day quarantine, na wala kang simptoma ng kubo, fever, sipon. And pag GCQ rapid test, we can allow that, na rapid test lang. Pero pag from ECQ areas, we're requesting them na mag-undergo talaga ng RT-PCR test. Kasi po, sa pag ECQ areas, medyo mahirap kasi may mga locally transmitted
But
cases.
do you have those rapid testing kits sa borders ng Capiz?
Dito po sa ano namin, sa hospital. So
Meron.
what we're doing right now, gaya nung meron kaming na-stranded, for example, may na-stranded kami na 3 construction workers, pumunta na lang sa border namin, galing Iloilo. So yung sa Iloilo kasi, ECQ pa sila. So basically, hindi po siya namin that time, hindi pa siya namin pwedeng i-allow pumasok. Kasi may mandate from national sa omnibus guidelines sa IATF na from ECQ to GCQ hindi pa pwede. So pinagawa na lang muna ng tent doon, mga food packs. So naka 14 days na sila nag-stay doon. So yun, pinakuha na lang sila ng ambulance ng mayor. I talked with the local chief executive, so pinakuha siya. So pinadala namin siya sa, may COVID hospital kasi kami dito. I think we're the first province na nag-identify ng locally run na provincial hospital namin, na ginawang COVID hospital. So out of the 3, sa rapid test lang namin, may nag-positive na isa. Of course, sa IgG na antibody. So what we did, yung isang nag-positive, pinaiwan na lang namin doon sa COVID hospital namin. And then yung dalawa, facility quarantine siya sa town nila.
Okay, so makakabalik naman pero depende kung saan nanggaling at kung may clearance. Kumbaga sa bago ka ma-promote, kailangan may clearance ka muna. In any case, Governor, do you have any message? We're running out of time on the program, but do you have any message for the national government or para sa mga kaprobinsya ninyo?
Well, siguro po, dito po sa amin, well, of course, April 15 or 16, we're waiting sa decision ng national kung i-lift niya yung status namin dito from GCQ, yung ECQ na Iloilo. We have received mga balita na parang may recommendation ata ang ITF President. We're still waiting for that. Pero siguro po sa ngayon, binabalansin namin yung health concerns, with the economic concerns, at saka yung security concerns, in as much as gusto namin mag-start na talaga, no? Right now, we're on GCQ. So halos mga establishments namin nag-start na, construction, except of course yung mga leisure na establishments. We're still apprehensive lang, no? Pag na-lift na siya talaga, na wala na quarantine, baka po biglang mag-resurgence. So yun ang medyo kinakabahala namin. Hopefully, this will be studied by the national government kung ano yung karapat-dapat na gawin natin na at least man lang na maproteksyon na natin kasi for it's like 2 months na ginagawa namin ito. Mahirap pag bumalik na naman tayo sa ECQ na naman, mahirapan siguro ang mga kababayan namin. So,
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Governor, and we hope that you would continue to stay strong, stay safe, and stay healthy. And God bless you, Governor.
thank you, Sir Sito. God bless po.
Okay, that's Governor Nonoy Contreras of Capiz, and to all our fellow Filipinos, huwag niyong kalimutan, masarap ang seafood sa Capiz. Maybe the good governor can find ways to bring their products online. And tayo namang Pilipino ang makatikim. In any case, I've really run out of time. Actually, we've gone double overtime because of the earlier press conference or announcement from Malacanang. Please do stay indoors until all the necessary announcements are made. And we hope that you will join us tomorrow as we continue the program agenda. And please spend a little time praying today, because it's not just about staying indoors or staying alive. Let's figure out perhaps what God is trying to tell each of us and what we can change, what we can improve, and show love in the family. Thank you. I'm Cito Beltran, and that's today's agenda.